Yo, excited to kick off block 6 of the Cowboy Way. This is actually the last block of this year, which is wild. This takes us all the way to the new year. So we're gonna kind of switch up how we explain these just a little bit. Typically I go through like our primary focuses, or I'll have a whole list of kind of the main things we're working on. And I've kind of separated those out into some primary focuses and some secondary focuses. All in all, this is still just an overview. This doesn't mean this is the only thing we're working on. We're going to do tons of other shit other than this. But the primary stuff, this is stuff that you're going to be able to see work on consistently every single week, no ifs, ands, or buts. The secondary will be either every other week, or it will be snuck in as a little bit less of a priority than our primary stuff. We'll still have a lot of work of this. The secondary stuff, a lot of this type of stuff that's in our secondary work, will actually kind of move up into the primary focus, falling into the next block. So you might want to pay attention to some of these things. So in our primary, we're going to get to go heavy here. We're going to go a 1-rep back squat. That's going to be really fun. We'll test that in. We'll build throughout the block and then retest. Same thing with a 3-rep deadlift, and those will be dead stop. You'll have to keep your hands on the bar and reset at the floor, but you have to keep your hands on the bar for sure for that 3. We'll build on that. A 1-rep clean and jerk. I'm really excited about this. This is something that kind of got pushed from the secondary to a primary. We were doing the heavy 12 clean and jerks for time. So it was still heavy clean and jerks, but more on a time basis for more volume. And we're gonna actually kick that up and now go into a straight up focus of a 1-rep max, which I'm really excited about because our snatches went so well last block. So then the next thing, this is really neat. So we're gonna be working on some power output intervals on a rower. These are gonna be spicy. So the idea here is you guys are gonna have 3 attempts to pull as high of a peak pace as possible on a rower. So, you know, whatever that means, 3,000 calories an hour or whatever. You're just gonna see as high a number as you possibly can. You have 3 attempts to do that. So that's gonna be part A of the test. Then you're gonna take 80% of that peak. So if it was 3,000 calories an hour, my math is terrible, but let's just say that's what, 2,400 or something like that, calories an hour. Then you are gonna try to hold 2,400 calories an hour for as many meters as possible. As soon as you dip below that 2,400 cut line, then you mark the meters and you're done, you rest, and we'll do that for multiple intervals. So you guys are getting some exposure of holding an extremely aggressive pace for as long as possible, and I'm guessing it's gonna be probably in the ballpark of like 20, 30 seconds. So it's gonna be some cool sprint intervals. In this secondary piece, we did our 1-rep snatch last block, and now instead we're gonna take a little bit of a different approach here, and we're gonna do a little bit of variance on our snatch. So we'll still do a lot of snatching with relatively heavy load, but now we're gonna get you guys exposure to doing that coupled with other movements like any aerobic implements or high skill gymnastic work. And then we'll also do it in like more of a higher volume or more of a time structure for just pure snatching. So we'll get a lot of variance in our snatches during this block. One other thing, a long multimodal, I say multimodal, I'm pretty sure that word doesn't exist, but for fuck's sake, it does now. So we're gonna do one long little chipper, the one we're gonna test in, and we're not gonna do this every week by any means, but we'll definitely get some exposure in the long chipper style workouts. 100 double unders, mile run, 40 bar facing burpees, and the plus is 150 double unders and 60 bar facing burpees. So just long enough to really test your gut, but not miserably long. We're gonna be push pressing a 1-rep max. This is not gonna take a main priority just because I don't wanna hamstring ourselves and have too much pressing that's in our priority and that takes away from some of our other things. So this is gonna take a small backseat, but we definitely will get exposure to this push press. And then this one is really cool. We can certainly expect to see more and more of this work coming into the next block, especially as that's gonna be coming into open prep. But this one is as far as possible in 12 minutes, 1 ring muscle up, 2 bar muscle ups, 3 ring, 4 bar, 5 ring, 6 bar, and as far as possible in 12 minutes. So I'm really excited for this block. We have a lot of good things to work on. Stoked to have all you guys on the program, and for all you guys that are new coming on, can't wait to see you guys in that.